Hey guys, what's up? My name is Lance Jones and I'm with PonderingNerds.com. I am the, I guess you could say, co-creator and podcast producer and host of the Pondering Nerdcast and all that good stuff. So the reason why I'm doing this how-to video of Voice Me to Banana is because of the podcast section of our website and what we do there. In the past, I've had a lot of issues where it comes to, say, what you may call it, how to reroute audio on a PC to go to a particular program that I want it to go to, and have it come back and just, have my voice and just that particular program to talk back to that piece of software, to go to another software that recorded and blah, 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 blah. Right? Yes. So this is going to be just all about Voice Me to Banana and Skype and how to set those two up to record into a one track, not multi-tracks, but just one track. I'm going to do a different tutorial about that maybe sometime later on in the year, even though the year is almost over. So, well, you might see it in a couple weeks or so. But anyway, let's get started. So what is Voice Me to Banana? Voice Me to Banana is a virtual mixer. Meaning, if you've ever seen what an audio mixer looks like, an analog one, it just pretty much will mimic that. It's a bit limited, but actually, no, I take that back. It is not limited. It is actually pretty beefy for this piece of software. The best part is it's free, guys, or what they would call donationware, where you go to the website, download it, and they have a suggested price that you would like. With that. It's around 20 euros, I think. I believe this is a German company. I could be wrong about that. I could be completely wrong, but I know it's a European company. Yes, that's what it is. European company. Anyway, so first thing you need to do is you go ahead and you go to the Voice Me to website, which is VB Audio Software, or VB-Audio pages presto FR. Yes, it's a French company, guys. But yes, so you go here and it has all sorts of solutions to fit whatever you're trying to do. As you can see here, they are not a one-trick pony, but they do audio routing pretty well. But when you get to this website, and the link will be in the description below for your own clicking needs and downloads, you will go over to, I believe, yes, audio apps. And the first thing you need to download is a virtual audio cable. What's that? It's pretty much a piece of driver that sits on your computer to help you route your audio. Now, I'll show you a little bit what that is. You just pretty much scroll down and you hit the download button. It's a very small download. I will say you do have to go ahead and, sorry about that. You do have to restart your computer every single time you download one of their software so that it can install properly. Okay. Now, they also have another thing called Voice Meter, virtual audio mixer, which is pretty much the same thing, but less, like a little bit less stuff going on. You use other things like Audacity to record your stuff via Skype or whatever you're trying to do, as you can see here through their infographic. Or you can use Voice Me to Banana, which has a built-in recorder, as it looks like, it's like all faded out right there in the corner and stuff like that. Which has a built-in, like I said, a built-in recorder for you to do all that stuff. But so you would, if you don't have access to, say, Audacity, which is free, so you can go ahead and do that, or like a program like Audition, which is what I use to record my shows. But these two pieces of software right here, if you don't have a recorder, if you do have something that can record your audio, you can just go ahead with this. But I have Voice Me to Banana because it has a little bit more inputs, because I like it that way, because it's pretty. Anyway, so now after you've installed everything, you pretty much are ready to go, right? Not quite. No. you're going to do is you're going to right click on your speakers and go to playback devices. Sorry, it's a little bit off my screen there, but if you have a PC, you should see it pop up. It looks like little speaker waves coming out there. And then you're going to look through your playback devices and you're going to look for voice, VB audio, voice meter, VIO, and you're going to select that and hit set default. All right, cool. Now that's all set up, you don't really have to do anything else. You got to then, it should, at that point, then you got to select your hardware input, right? So you click that and you look for your microphone. My microphone happens to be it's going through a actual mixer that I have on my desktop here, where that goes through an analog connection that I have in the back of my computer that picks up as a microphone, and which is how I have my stuff set up and everything like that. But you look for that. You look for the name of your microphone. It could be any sort of microphone that you have plugged in. It could be a USB mic or whatever the case may be. As you can see, I have like a whole bunch of selections. I pick WDM to get things going. And once you select that, and if you see this going up and down, that means it's picking up your audio. So next thing you need to set up here, you can mess around with the IntelliPan if you want to adjust the way your voice is going to sound. That could be really deep end, high pitch, whatever, sort of echoes and stuff like that. That's really up to you what you want to do with that. But I'm not going to go into that. Next thing you need to set up here is these little areas right here, which is like, they're called, I believe they're like channels. I don't know the actual name for them. Could be completely wrong. But you want to select A2 and B1. Because if you select A1 and A2, you're going to hear yourself back into your headphones, and that might be a little bit, off-putting for you. You probably like start speaking like this and like, I'm trying to catch up with myself, maybe. Yeah. So it just repeats back into your headphones so you can hear what you sound like. But I would recommend doing that right before you do a show. So you can hear what your mic sounds like and you can adjust it on the fly through here if you do not have a mixer like I do. But this would just be your virtual mixer, so you can mess around with how you sound. And that will be, you fix that how you want. I will explain what these little stuff here will do. The A2 and the B1 stuff it will be doing. Now, the next thing you need to be setting up now, this is how you're going to get Skype to talk to this software, is you go in here and you select voice meter output VB audio virtual cable. It's a little bit cut off because it's pretty long. You're not going to select WDM. You're going to select the MME, right? Because you want a little bit, you want like low latency with the audio coming in. Now, this one you select A1 and B2. Okay, so these are little channels that would the stuff is going to be playing back from, so that way it will be popping into the master section over here. As you can see, as I'm talking on my mic, these levels are going up and down because I have A2 and B1 selected over here on this particular hardware input. And that's how these are going to go off as my physical and virtual channels. Also, once you see all that's working and looks all good on your mic, you also want to select your hardware out. Hardware out is just what you're going to hear back through. What this is, because this thing likes to take over all your audio settings, just to let you know. So usually just go ahead and select your speakers in WDM. And usually, like, so if someone calls you on, say, on Skype, you can hear them, and so when you're speaking, they can hear you. So that way you can have a normal run going on there. And before you set up Skype, you want to make sure you have your recording settings all set up, because this would be a little recorder right here. And as you can see, it has A2, B1, and B2 selected, because these are all the things that are going to go in here. These are all the channels that it's going to pick up on to record. A1 doesn't really need to be selected. It pretty much picks it up here regardless of what you do. But just you set these up right here. But mess around with it. See how you're going to do your channels. It's really dependent on what you're trying to do. You can even stitch this from 2 channels like up to 8 channels. But like I said, that's a whole different tutorial that I'm not even going to touch right now. But anyway, so now you go into your menu, tape recording options, and you want to do pre-fader inputs, and you're going to turn pretty much turn all these on if you want to. But because I have everything all set up with, physical input 1, 2, and 3, and virtual input and an aux, all that's, pretty much all set up, ready to go. I don't like messing around with it too many times because sometimes I feel like I mess around with this thing and it stops working for me and I cry. But anyway, what you're going to do next is pick your target directory. I already have it set up to go to this hard drive of mine, to this how-to folder, which is what I'm doing today. And it's called Skype Setup. You will now choose your file type right here. I usually go with MP3 because, compressed. But if you really want big files and it sounds awesome, you can go with WAV. But then, keep in mind wherever you're uploading your MP3, that's, I should say your audio file. It depends on your plan and whatever, but that's a whole different issue altogether. Bitrate I keep at 192, which is, I believe it's CD quality, and sample rate is 100 hertz, which is usually what people go with for audio only stuff. It should be 800 hertz because I'm doing video, but whatever. We're just going to stick with all that because you're doing an audio only podcast, guys. Yeah. All right. So now you've had all that set up. It looks pretty. It's all good. You can, move this around however you like. Next thing you want to do is open up your Skype, and you want to have, once you're in there, go into your options and go to audio settings. Now, my microphone is selected here again. You can set this up where your microphone would go through Voicemeeter, and because that's the whole point is that you want your microphone to go through Voicemeeter, and then all the little special effects you do, you do that, all that. You set it up here so that when you talk to anyone on Skype, it would go. You just choose wherever that input is to put it out to your microphone through Voicemeeter. But I don't need to do that because my microphone already goes through an actual mixer. But like I said, I use the mixer itself, the virtual mixer itself, to bring in audio from a particular program only, and not some random ass music that's playing on my computer that will leak over into my podcast or into my audio, which I do not like. So you can keep it here if you want to. If you have a mixer, I recommend you change it to the input that you already have it here for virtual, Voicemeeter, so that way it can go through and your friends can hear you on the other end of Skype. The next thing you need to do is change your speakers on here to Voicemeeter input VB audio virtual cable. Now, let me show you what happens when you do that. Now, this is now pretty much what's going on is remember the virtual cable plugin I told you to download? That now will facilitate the information audio output from Skype into this bad boy here. This is why you have these all selected, the A and B for the physical channels and the virtual channels. But I'm going to go ahead and do the speaker test real quick. As you can see, as you play it, because as long as you see these levels going up and down, that means you set it up right and it's all pretty, So, pretty much you can go ahead and you can do a test call if you want to see how it sounds and everything, and just play it back. And as long as you mess around with the levels to your enjoyment. Now let's do a recording, right? We have this all set up. This looks all pretty right here. Voicemeeter is ready to go. All you do is hit record here. And one thing I should also mention as this is recording, if you don't see these levels are going up as these are going up, that means you didn't set this up right. And so you might want to mess around with that until you get it to run. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play. All right, so you want to make sure your levels are all going here. All these lights, these pretty things are going off. So you keep it, and the best part is you can mix it in and talk on this Skype call. Yeah, my singing sucks. But yeah, pretty much that's it. You know, when someone calls in, talk on this, you would only get that audio, nothing else. You know, that means I could be playing another video in my browser and nothing would leak through. There would never be anything going on into your recording. You can even set this up to stream out if you're, savvy like that as well. But that's a whole nother tutorial as well for like OBS, which is something I'm going to do. But yeah, this is how you can set it up with Skype, and it sounds all great, and boom, you just hit stop right there. And you see it did like 1 minute and 14 seconds. I will say this though, the recorder itself, since I believe it's in beta, because when I click on this to open up where their location is, it doesn't always work. So I already have that like pre-set up right here. As you can see, it's going into the same folder as I'm recording my tutorial in, and yes, it has like all this information, Skype setup, blah blah blah, the name and hour, the time that I did it, and everything like that. And that's how that looks like. But and let me see here. Let's go ahead and try to play back, shall we? Let me see here. I'm gonna open it up with Windows Media Player right here. And one thing I should also mention as this is recording, if you don't see these levels are going up as these are going up, that means you didn't set this up right, and so you might want to mess around with that. Yeah, so you see that pretty much worked. This is one track, this is the MP3 track. So I don't usually record my podcast this way. I try to avoid record in one track because there might be an issue when it comes to editing where someone is chewing, most likely it's me, or something just went wrong in someone's mic and you couldn't, like trying to cut it out because somebody was speaking at the same time. But that's a whole nother, like I said, I'm going to show you guys another tutorial of how to record multi-track with Adobe Audition if you can get your hands on it, right? And also I'm going to show you how to record with Voicemeeter and Audacity as well, so you can do the whole mix it into the whole one track stuff, because it's pretty much the same concept. But yeah, this allows me to more or less route my audio from a specific program into this program where it's only that you're going to hear. And that's the lovely part about this. This, quite honestly would probably, I wouldn't say make you sound more professional. You would have to, that really depends on who you are as a podcaster and what you're willing to, put in for that sort of thing. But yeah, check out Voicemeeter Banana, or just Voicemeeter if you don't need any of the other stuff. It's a virtual mixer. It allows you to mess around with how things are inputted, throughout your computer to make it sound as good as you can possibly make it sound. Yeah, I love it. I think it's great. No, I don't work for them. I'm not getting a donation from them or anything like that. I just thought I'll share this tutorial with everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Don't forget to check out Pondering Nerds. Let me go there real quick. PonderingNerds.com. And this is where you'll find our main podcast, which is Pondering Nerdcast right here. Yeah. Oh, there's a new web design that's probably going to show up at some point for this. And also check out our other sportscast, which is Let's Be Real Sportscast. There's some good folks there. And also check out Gaming Rebellion. GamingRebellion.com is where we are the official podcast for Gaming Rebellion. There are other podcasts on the website as well. But if you love retro games, if you love articles about video games and stuff like that, mashups, you should definitely check it out. There's also Nerd Rage. There's pretty cool people there as well. Their podcast is pretty cool, which is also featured on Game Rebellion. And they have a pretty cool community section as well. So definitely check them out, to join up and have all the Nerd Rage comments that you want to have, that you want to fill. But like I said, don't forget to check out PonderNerds.com and all the lovely things that we do there. And also look out for more tutorials, and don't forget to check out the other tutorials in the playlist that we have as well. Until next time, people, we love you for listening and watching, and check out Voicemeeter Banana. It is free, people. Free. I just showed you how to record your audio only podcast for free. in a semi-professional way. Yes, because awesomeness. All right, guys. Bye for now, and see you in the next video and or hear me on the next podcast. Bye-bye.